All right, now we're going to talk more about how to set up an owner-financed mortgage. So if you missed the beginning part of this segment, make sure you click on the link below and listen to part 1. So before I move on to the next point, if this type of information is helpful for you, please hit that like button right now, and then I'm going to go on to the next piece. Once you have a handle on the federal guidelines and you have some legal counsel that can talk to you about that, then we have to address the state guidelines. Every state's a little bit different. What kind of interest rate can you charge? What's the maximum or the usury level? There's a lot of different things that you need to know that's specifically tailored by your state. So make sure you have an attorney that understands your state's property code and how it applies to seller financing. One of the most important things you'll need to learn about your state is how fast or how slow or how arduous is your foreclosure process. This will have a lot to do with the kind of paperwork you choose, or if you even want to be in the seller finance business at all in your state. So let's talk about how to find the right attorney. There are all different kinds of attorneys, and they specialize in all different kinds of things. The last thing you want to do is get a general attorney to deal with a very specific real estate problem. Let's try to find someone who specializes in the problems that we're trying to address. For example, there's eviction and foreclosure attorneys. There's probate attorneys. There's title attorneys. There's attorneys that have to do with defending you in court, and then there's attorneys that have to do with contractual law. Pick the attorney that's specific to what you need, because you do need an expert in all these different departments. I have many attorneys for many different things. I don't call an eviction attorney to tell me how to draw up a lease option, okay? You just wouldn't do that. People specialize in certain things, and we want to make sure we find that specialist. Also remember that there's a whole lot of attorneys out there, and every single one of them have a different opinion. Not every law or rule or regulation is black and white, and there are opinions. And if you don't find the opinion you want at first, keep asking and keep checking with other attorneys until you start to find that there's a consensus. Some do, some don't. If that's the case, then start talking to the ones that do what you want to do and ask them, I understand that you believe this can be done. How are you going to defend me? These attorneys say it can't be done. Why do they believe that, and how are you going to defend against their viewpoints? If you just listen to one attorney and take the first answer you get, you'll be shut down all the time, either on one subject or another. We have to find specialists that know better, that have looked at case law and have specific reasons why they believe the other attorney is wrong in their assessment of how you can go forward. The most important thing that we all need to know in life about any topic is there's usually a way to get something done, legal and fair and right. We just have to sit down with smart enough people who have been there long enough to know how we might navigate through this process to get done what we want to get done. I've had attorneys tell me that contract for deeds are illegal in the state of Texas. They're not illegal in the state of Texas. Where the problem is that they pass down regulatory laws that the reporting at the end of the year, if you're doing a contract for deed, is so arduous and the penalties are so drastic that it doesn't make any sense to do it unless you're going to become super proficient at the reporting at the end of the year between December the 31st and January the 31st. And again, their opinion was, it's too arduous, so let's just take it off the table. Well, just because something's arduous doesn't mean it can't be done or that you can't become a pro at it and learn to navigate that rough part of the river. So remember, just because one attorney says no or we can't or it's not a good idea doesn't mean you shouldn't seek other opinions first before you make your decision. If you've appreciated the effort today, please like this episode and or share it with your friends if they're in the business and need to hear these things. For a free hard copy of my book, My Life in 1,000 Houses, Failing Forward to Financial Freedom, just click on the link below. It'll also come with a free video training called Owner Finance 101, and we'll tell you the ins and outs of how I started an owner financing empire. Now, this free book, just so you know and you're not caught off guard, we're going to ask for $7 shipping and handling because it's not free to get this book to you. But I will give you the book. Just click on the link below. Thank you for tuning in.